Okay, and we're live there.
Live.
And now we're live for Sir Mars. Yes. So we have no thrilling dialogue going on that we've gone in the middle of, so we're just going to have to start the show with a show opening, which we almost never do. But you are tuned in once again to another fun-filled episode of
Insert Title Here.
The show that changes names so frequently, we just put a placeholder in, and, you know, we talk about this, that, and whatever, and I'm happy to say we are back on the YouTubes, in addition to Twitch. We took a little break from the YouTubes because, for simplicity's sake, I stopped using Team Talk and started using StreamYard, which is a little easier for my co-hosts to join, a little less strain on the computer hardware, and gives us a nice central cloud-based place to. I guess it's cloud. Is that cloud? I don't know. Is that what cloud means? If it's in a browser, it's a cloud, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it could be, or it's, their data is on their site.
It's in the cloud because it's not on. If it's not on my computer, it's in the cloud, right? What does that? You know what? That's a term that I have to say. I think it means nothing. I think the whole cloud-based computing thing just means nothing because we've been.
Well, no. I think it does mean something. I think it means data is on somebody else's site.
But that's something that has existed.
I don't have to store it.
Data on other sites is a concept that has existed long before the term cloud. So,
yes, but now that we have something that we have named, in other words, that data that's on the cloud, we can bill it.
Now,
doesn't mean you have to.
Now, what if I set up a computer someplace else and I connect to it and I store data there? Is that my own personal cloud?
Well, Western Digital hard drive outfit has a product called MyCloud, which you can store data on. You can use it for backups, and you can access it remotely. So, yeah, absolutely. Your personal cloud.
I think cloud is just a word that is a buzzword. It's marketing for a concept.
Of course. Everybody likes to use the buzzwords, right?
A marketing term,
and that way people understand it, or they don't.
Gators is saying just say no to the cloud. It's an off-site network resource. Let's not feed this buzzword frenzy. Clouds is where the rainwater is. Anyways, point is that I have now upgraded to a paid version of StreamYard, which allows me to stream to two resources rather than one resource.
Now, if you're stuck with the free version, can you still stream to?
Well, the free version only lets you stream to one resource.
So I could use mine since it's a free version. I could stream to, pick one, YouTube, or I could go to stream your Twitch.
Right, you could do that. You could sync up your Twitch account and your YouTube account with your StreamYard account, and then you could pick which one you want to stream to, only one at a time.
Right.
And I had the choice: do I stream to Twitch or do I stream to YouTube? And we had gotten more chat interaction from Twitch than YouTube, so that kind of drove the choice. But now that we have the paid service, we are back on YouTube. And so if you are a fan of Christmas music that was like, well, let's check out one of his other videos, I am so sorry to disappoint you. I am not nearly as jolly as 8 hours of Christmas music, but I could try to be. And warning, we have been.
Ray Conniff singers would be your go-to group, right?
You know what? My go-to, if you have to pick one, if you have to pick one go-to Christmas album, there's only one go-to Christmas album to pick. And of course, that would be Percy Faith's The Music of Christmas.
So I'm on this Radio Shack, formerly worked for a Radio Shack group, right?
All right.
And they were talking about the Christmas season and how some people, even though they're long gone from Radio Shack, still has that thing of the dredge of Christmas because, some stores you'd have to get to the stores really early to open up.
Right.
And of course, if you're not there on time, customers get all freaked out.
Well, yeah.
Fortunately, when I worked for Radio Shack, we never had those early hours. We just did standard hours, maybe slightly later, but typically not too much different from a normal.
Right.
And, now things are so damn competitive that everybody's into the extra hour bull crap.
Well, let me tell you about the extra hour, because as I've mentioned before, I did post-college spend a few years working retail at Walmart as a daytime gig, and you noticed even before Black Friday, you would notice an increase on the weekend shopping crowds preparing. Because the early shoppers, there's a group of early shoppers. The people that think they're beating the crowd, they're a smaller crowd. And but you still notice this pickup, and then Black Friday is when whoosh. And so what I found out was that from Black Friday to Christmas, the Walmart would stay open an extra hour. So instead of being open till 10 p.m., they'd be open till 11 p.m., which was fine, an extra hour to our shift, or they'd start our shift an hour later. And so there was just less overlap between the two shifts in the middle of the day. No biggie. And but then one year before the holiday rush came, there was some complaints that were going around, because usually around as the 10 o'clock hour approached, you kind of have to chase customers out of the store so that you can close down and count out your registers and clean everything up and get out of there. And you always have stragglers that are still shopping as it's approaching the closing. No matter what hour you close your store at, you'll be chasing.
There's always going to be that guy, yes.
Right? So, pages would start at 9:30. We are closing in a half hour. Please, make your final purchases,
right.
And make your way to the front. We are closing in 15 minutes. Please make your way to the registers now. And this was walk through, start telling people, hey, if you can get to the register, we're getting ready to close the last register. You need to move now. So at some point, complaints worked their way up to the district or to corporate or somewhere that
people that made you stay later complaining.
I don't know who complained to whom for what reason, but the message that got up to the decision-making person was, people who have money that want to give it to us are being chased out of the store at 10. And so the obvious answer was, well, why don't we keep the store open to 11 so that they could give us more of their money? I get the logic behind that, but I also was like, well, couldn't whoever complained keep their damn mouth shut?
Right.
I don't want to be here till 11. I want to be here. So they changed the normal hours to be till 11. And here's the thing that really gets me. They lied to us. And I don't know who lied to us. I don't know if corporate lied to our managers or if our management lied to us. But we were told it was a district-wide decision that every store in our district had their hours changed to be open till 11. And at 10:30 one evening, someone wanted to buy something that we were out of stock on. And they said, well, can you call the next store and see if they have it in stock so they could hold one for me? I'm like, yeah, next door is, Clinton. Like, oh, yeah, I know where the Clinton store is. All right. I get up the phone. I dial the number for the Clinton store. Person picks up, and I'm like, hey, I just wanted to see if you have such and such in stock. I'm like, well, we're closed. We're closed, and I'm on my... You're closed? You mean you're not? I thought the whole district was open to... No, we've always closed at 10. So...
Yeah, somebody was lying, says, oh, can I have a job at your store? Because this fucker lies to me.
Hey, you got any
Oh,
openings in
really say that
electronics over there? So there was
That's
that. And then we all wondered what's going to happen when the holidays come, because the holidays, they would extend the hours an extra hour to 11, but we're already open to 11. So are they just going to leave well enough alone and we're still going to be open to 11, or are they going to extend us out to midnight? Well, they went for the unforeseen third option. Starting on Black Friday that year, they turned it into a 24-hour Walmart.
So they have to add in a whole new shift.
Yes, they do. And now I know your first thought is, well, that doesn't mean you have to work overnights, and you're right. They did not ask me to change my shift. They did not ask me to work overnight, and they decided that for most of the overnight they could get by with a skeleton crew, because at some point it would thin out and you just need a skeleton crew to deal with whatever's going on.
Right.
But I normally worked what was called a closing shift, which meant that, my shift would end like a half hour after the closing of the store. But the way closing shift worked was you were not allowed to leave the store until your department was tidy. So even though, like, normally working a closing shift during the holidays would mean that I'm working till 11:30. So at 11 o'clock, normally the doors are locked, and I got a half hour of an empty store to tidy up the mess of the department from the holiday shoppers. But now that I'm working a closing shift for a store that don't close, there are still shoppers, and it's a madhouse till like 1 a.m. So I can't get the department tidy to get my happy butt out the door and back home where I could sleep to prepare for the next day's worth of madness. And it was.
What you do is you just leave at 11 o'clock.
I try to do that. They wouldn't.
Hey, my shift is over. Bye.
Well, it's easy to say that. That's not how it works. Not to mention, because here's the thing: is that if you leave in a mess, then it's a mess for the opening crew that comes in the next day, who are your peers and your coworkers, and then they think
who
badly
are these people on the night shift?
Well, the night shift
can't they get take the heat for it?
The night shift were people like middle management people, or like they were not there to tidy up departments. In fact, I don't even think anyone was representing electronics overnight. They had people that were kind of like floater type of people that didn't belong to a department, that were not quite store managers, but not quite department managers, but like support managers.
But you weren't a store manager either.
Now, 5 hit do asking, do they only pay you until 10? Asking for a friend. The way Walmart's clocks worked was that you clocked in, you clocked out with a badge. Now, Walmart doesn't like to pay overtime, and this is something that might vary from store to store, but during the holiday season and during inventory, typically store managers would not complain about overtime. It was pretty much, those are the 2 times of the years that the overtime was there for the taking. So going past your 40-hour week during the Christmas season on the clock would not draw attention. Now, on the other hand, I worked at the store I worked at in California for a brief period of time. They got really bitchy about going past your shift. Like, if you were 5 minutes late to clock out of your shift, they would lock you out, and you'd have to get a supervisor.
You would just leave at the appointed hour.
Well,
gotta go.
Well, here's the thing.
Let the manager take care of the problem.
At the California store, they put me on a register. I asked for electronics. They put me on a register. And so when you got a line of people, you can't just say, I'm leaving now. You can't do that.
You flip your switch to closed, take care of those customers.
Clearly, you've never run a register
over and walk off because, hey, I got to punch out, man. I don't want to get gigged.
You've clearly not run a register at a Walmart. There were times I was fighting with the front end manager.
You can't.
I'm going to get locked out if you don't get me off this register. Put your light off. The light is off. Will you block the line for me? I need to get me someone to swap me out. I don't have anyone available to swap you out. It's like, so that was.
I don't know. Hey, manager, aren't you a living, breathing person?
And 5 at Dune Writing, and that's a California thing. They have extremely strict hours. Well, yeah, and that's something I learned from Andy at Tharco, because every now and then he'd come up to me like, I noticed that you've been taking your lunch at 1:30 sometimes, and that's 5.5 hours after you first clock in, and we're required to give you 30 minutes for every 5 hours that you work. So if you could be sure to clock out before 5 hours, and we had this conversation multiple times.
Right.
And my impersonation of Andy is spot on. I'd like to point out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Well, because hey, in California, you got to pay your people. Not like in Kansas, like they don't give a shit about you.
Oh, come on now. That's not fair. That's not.
Isn't that the truth, Dune?
Brian, we need to keep our listeners to have a raid. If we don't keep doing here till the end, we don't have a raid. So
Dude, don't you? Do I have it right or do I have it wrong? It's as simple as that.
I think. Here's the thing.
Corporation rules.
Here's the thing. I will say,
not in California, though.
I will say that I agree. It was a little too strict in California, in that if I so chose that I wanted to work more than 5 hours before my lunch break, I think I should have been allowed to do that.
Well, I don't have a problem with what you're saying either.
Dune calling you totally wrong.
Totally wrong. Yes, I'm totally wrong.
You're totally wrong.
What?
And
about which? The corporation's rule? They own your ass?
You're wrong
Which
about.
What part am I wrong about?
So it's the holiday season again.
I want to be wrong. Make me right. And
the holiday season is in the air, and we're all just happy and in love with each other's. So because togetherness and all that, moving away from what Brian over there is trying to do to my show.
See, it is your show. I thought it was our show. I got that wrong too.
No, well, it is our show because it's in the cloud.
I'm going to put as a background, I am wrong.
Well, you see,
might as well. This game is over.
It's my you know what? When you say something is mine, it doesn't necessarily always mean it's only mine. If something is ours, it's mine, it's yours, it's ours. I didn't say it's mine and only mine. So,
I didn't say that to start an argument. I just said that because I'm wrong.
Totally wrong.
Totally wrong.
Yes, just to put up on the screen here. That dude over there, he's totally wrong.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, so the point is that I got stuck working past my normal hours closing the store because I had to continue answering customers' questions and tending to their needs while trying to tidy up a department that kept getting messed up. And OX64 writing, and that's how the fight began.
Yes. Let me give you a backhand, right? Oops, my arm is off the screen.
All right. Now Dune here has been in management for 20 plus years. Brian has been well, Brian, you used to be a manager at Tharco and
supervisor.
A supervisor.
But they didn't actually pay me for that.
All right, you had people report to you, so maybe that's not the same thing as being in management.
Well, no. I was a supervisor, and the other programmer reported to me.
Right.
And then when what was her name, Kelly, came on board to. This is actually all before your time.
Yeah, because I don't know.
She decided to take that supervision tag from me.
Oh.
So while I worked with you, I was not a manager or a supervisor. Well, and nobody reported to me.
But the reason why I know this is because, well, my Fong mentioned it, because I don't. Should I tell this story?
Yeah,
I Are you sure I should tell this story?
sure. Why not?
It's about Nick, and he loves it when we talk about him.
Neil.
Neil. Okay. Dune wanting to know did you clock out? Now, I clocked out for lunch. Brian, on the other hand, I don't think you clocked out for lunch. You were salaried.
So Dune. See, I was an exempt employee, which means they owned my ass.
Yeah.
I was there as long as I could stand up, although I had a sitting down job, so that was actually tough.
Is there a problem with my sound?
I
mean,
sound fine.
I mean, I do EQ a little bit of bass in my voice, but I've not changed that EQ in a number of years. So, if I've always been blowing the speakers out of your baskets, then maybe I need to.
You have baskets?
Well, OX64's got baskets apparently. All right, let's take a look here. I got a low shelf filter that's boosted a little bit. Maybe I need to back that off a little bit.
1, 2, 3, 4. How does it affect me too, right? Right.
No. That's on my microphone's channel only. I backed the low shelf filter down a dB. And Dune writing in, and they went out of business. Shocked face. Oh, and this is how the argument started.
Wait a minute. They went out of business. Who did?
Tharco
San
Lorenzo.
No. They didn't go out of business. They were closed by the new owners.
Tomato.
Well, and I wasn't there. Right? I had been gone for 5 years. Actually, 7 years. Nearly 6.5 years.
All right. It's not like the traditional bass area. It's like below 30 hertz where it's happening. Okay.
So you have a low frequency.
Well, I do have the shelf filter with the cutoff at around 80 hertz, so I am boosting 80 hertz down. But if I've got something in a 30 hertz section that's boomy, that's not good because that's like supersonic. That's like that's the type of frequencies that you feel more than you hear. Anyways,
that's like
so
that's quite low.
So here's why I know that you were a supervisor, because like I said, when I started there, you were just a programmer. No one reported to you. And
right.
Remember when Shane took us into a conference room to tell us all what our new titles were going to be? And this is before PCA acquired us. This was in between Boise and PCA.
Still under Boise, yeah.
Boise at some point decided that they were going to convert everyone over to their hierarchy, and they had their own job titles that they gave people.
Yeah.
And so they took us all in a room, me, my Fong, Dale, you, and Neil. And Shane went. Well, no, Dale was out that week. He was pissed off that Shane did this because Dale felt that he should have been the one to do this, and for good reason, because he would have taken us in separately and not let you and Neil be in the same room at the same time, because they gave you a higher ranking than Neil. And
they talked about ranking.
Well, the titles had numbers in them, so when you got a title that was of a higher title than Neil's title. Neil was not happy about that because Neil, and I know this from lunching with him, he made a huge fuss over that when he was hired there, he was to be at the same ranking as the other programmer. That it would be all even title, even benefits, even perks, even everything. And so he was, and I'm like, dude, it's a fucking title. It's not worth. No, these things matter.
Yeah, that's a ranking from which your salary is based.
Yeah, but they weren't changing our salaries.
No. But Okay, so let's say I'm a programmer and there's a ranking between 1 and 5.
Right.
Okay. Let's say a 1, which is a low-level program, his salary capped might be, I'm just throwing a number out there, $40,000. And he can't get higher until he gets bumped up to 2, which then his highest possible number could be $50,000, right?
Right.
So
Well,
the more your salary goes up, the more your ranking has to follow it, and often that ranking is dependent on a performance review.
and that's all.
So, yeah.
Well, that's all playing the game. Then you angle for a promotion or whatever. But it wasn't worth him getting as worked up as he did. It's
well,
not like,
I mean, he had an assumption, and maybe when things moved on, those assumptions kind of were forgotten.
Well,
there were a lot of kind of secret deals that were made. So when you got hired, you're supposed to only get 2 weeks, but they would give you a secret week. And nobody talked. You would just, you just talk to Dale and you get that extra week off.
It's funny. My grandfather has a story that when he started a job, he negotiated for extra vacation time. And I guess he started, and one of the other programmers asked him, "Oh, so how much vacation time they give you?" And he told them, he's like, "Well, that's like a week more than I get. What does that mean?" And he goes, "Well, that means I'm a better negotiator than you." Is what that
exactly,
means.
Exactly.
So it's all.
But eventually, HR catches up with you, and suddenly you find you only have 3 weeks when you were getting 4.
Well, at some point, Boise had their corporate structure and calculations, and I was right on that edge where I got the extra week when they converted me over. So that worked out good for me. But the point is that Neil was all upset and pissed. And I remember I said, my Fong and I had a little aside. And I'm like, gee, what's the deal with this whole job title thing? How did Nick and my Fong's like, Nick was never at the same level of Brian. Brian had people reporting to him previously. Nick never. So,
well, see, but the thing is, and I go back to that. So at one point they promoted to be supervisor. Oh, and this guy Mark, who was a programmer back then, quit because he didn't get it. Right? I'm pissing people off all over the place. So he quit, and I'm still friends with that guy. Right? Not that I talk to him that much.
Dude ready to get, secret week. I wonder what happens that week stays in that week. I dig it.
Exactly. Especially if you go to Vegas. Especially if you go to Vegas.
Which you're close enough to do.
That because, again, it's a secret. It stayed in Vegas.
It stayed in Vegas.
And, of course, if you go to Reno, you're an idiot.
Well, no. Reno's good for getting married.
Well, you could do that in Vegas too. But, for the Bay Area, it's closer.
Reno is closer, so I went to Reno, got married. I did go to Vegas another time though,
and you celebrated that by going to a Carl Jr., wasn't it? Or was that a
Jack in the Box?
Jack in the Box. Damn it! See, it was wrong again.
No, we stopped.
This is a drinking game. How many times is Brian wrong?
Just keep chugging the bottle. Just keep chugging. No, we stopped at the Jack in the Box on the way to Reno. We celebrated at a sushi place afterwards. And then I played some craps.
Oh, crap. Never mind.
No, there was no Elvis. No Elvis in Reno. I did not get married by Elvis.
That was the funny episode where they found out on the Big Bang Theory that Penny went to Vegas with what's his name, and they got married by an Elvis impersonator, and so they didn't think it was a real marriage. They thought it was just a fake one, but it was a real one. So they had to get divorced before Leonard could marry him. And then, of course, that was Zach. And then Zach got invited over for Thanksgiving. And there were all these jokes like, I'm not sure I want you to be dating my wife from Zach, because they were still married at that point.
Of course.
It was hilarious.
Of course. Well, there was a lot of hilarious.
Over to sign the divorce papers. It was hilarious.
It was, there was a lot of funny moments on that show. But,
yeah. And then they were talking about their possible children. Children?
Right.
Well, what do you think of the kids?
So anyways, I should update you on the electric situation in the house.
Absolutely. And everybody wants to know about this.
Well, I've had an opportunity to do some electrical work in this house, and so far things are going.
This is a DIY, huh?
Yeah. So I'm happy.
Awesome.
Thanksgiving Day, towards the end of the parade, when it got a little boring, I started, working on
Macy's Day Parade.
Right. I started working the wire.
When was it not boring? I'm sorry. If that's your thing, I'm sorry.
I can get about an hour.
I'm wrong. Have another drink.
Please keep drinking. If you drink, maybe you'll be funny. No, kidding. That came out.
By the way,
mean.
Did you ever see how long the parade route was?
It was just around a block this year, wasn't it? In a closed set.
I believe it was very short. I didn't actually see the map. But it might have been a block on each side because you need a place to gather, send the people through. And then some of the segments were pre-recorded.
Right. It was a closed set.
What's real and what is Memorex? The whole damn thing is Memorex.
And yet there were still people that came out to try to see it live and basically got to pose for a selfie outside of a barricaded area where they couldn't see anything. Because it was a closed fucking set.
Yes,
There's
course.
Nothing there to see. Go home, turn on your TV.
Right. They blocked those streets off for nothing.
Every year, the suckers go out there. The best seat in the house is in front of the TV. That is the best seat in the house to view the parade.
Although I would suggest that at least once you go to the Rose Parade in Pasadena.
Okay. All right.
It still can be cold there in December. I mean,
California.
Well, actually,
cold.
That's January. That's
in all my years in California.
Is actually January 1, right?
In all my years in California, never once did I pull out a heavy coat. So yeah, it might get a little chilly, but you put on a jacket, you'd be fine.
A jacket would be good. And also, since the Rose Parade happens in technically rainy season, you could get rained on.
It might. Rain's good for flowers, though. So it's all good.
Even dead flowers on floats.
Yeah. Well, are they dead or are they dying?
Well, yeah. I don't want to commit to anything because then that would be wrong again.
All right. Anyways, so I on Thanksgiving Day, I got the run of wire from the basement to the attic, and the day after, the Friday, I spent a bunch of time in the attic, and I got a run of wire from that to the outlet that was already in the master bedroom.
A separate wire?
Well, yes, because no, I ran that wire to the first outlet, then I ran another wire from that outlet to the next outlet, then I ran a wire from there to the light fixture.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're not going to a junction box and then
I wasn't planning on it.
There.
I'm probably going to put in some junction boxes for this room and Kristen's room. Because after I did that, I mean, I kind of figure you got two sets of screws on the outlet. I've seen videos where they talk about it's better to do a pigtail because then if something goes wrong with the outlet, it doesn't take out everything down the chain. But I've never had something go wrong with an outlet.
So when is a junction box? When is that allowed?
It's allowed.
Because you can't have a junction box that's buried in a wall. That I know for sure.
Right.
But I take it you can have a junction box up in the attic that's accessible?
Yes, you can. And okay. So Stephen told me, just nail up a board and nail it to the board and, run the wire up there. And then from there you could split it out to what you're doing. And he recommended just having a junction box for each room. He recommended I run 4 wires up there, one for each room, but one of the rooms has very little in it, so I'm just gonna like do 2 rooms off of one, and then my room and Kristen's room I'm gonna do off of their own runs.
Right.
So, anyways,
Now, are lights and wall sockets on different wires?
Well, I mean, everything's on its own wire, but I wired from the second outlet to the light fixture.
Mean, that's the same circuit, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I did run into a few minor hiccups. Now, I'm happy to say my master bedroom with its 2 outlets and 1 light fixture are all on a brand new circuit, and they've been working for a few days now. No flickering, no problems, no fires. So, success so far. But I had a few fun moments along the way. The first outlet I put in, I was replacing an existing outlet. So I had to chase that back to where it originally tapped in. And what I found was that the first outlet in my master bedroom had a metal conduit that was coming up the chase of the chimney, because it's alongside the wall that's along the chimney. And that side of the chimney is just wide open in the attic, no holes needed. So this metal conduit was just kind of coming up along the chimney from down in the wall, and then it went towards the side of the house. And I followed the metal conduit, and I found that basically there was a part in the knob and tube wiring where someone had stripped the wires on the hot and the neutral, and then twisted around a new hot and new neutral coming off of that, and then tied that into the metal conduit that fed that outlet, and then taped it all up with electrical tape. So that was a little scary to see sitting right underneath the insulation there. That was I did not like that. But what could I do about it right now? The only thing I could really do about it right now was to basically take the tape off with the power turned off, of course. Take the tape off, cut off the wires that were splicing off of there, and then tape it back up very, very good, very, very carefully. So yes, I still have electrical taped up hot and neutral wires on knob and tube wiring up in my attic that is live right now, but that's very temporary. I need to keep the lights on for now, but I tell you, that lead is feeding the next room I'm rewiring. So as soon as I get that next room wired, I'm cutting that wire back to before that point.
And you're gonna yank the knob and tube wire out, right?
Yeah. Well, what I did, like, basically,
hopefully it'll just pull out and not discover that there's another thing that's hooked up to it.
Well, I could see all the wire that's up in the attic. It's just running along the boards
this is just in the
tubes.
Attic. You see it right from A to B, or
right.
beginning to end.
Basically, I found that I made a smart move starting in the master bedroom, because the light fixture in the master bedroom was the very end of the knob and tube chain. So right. all I had to do was cut those wires that fed that light fixture off of the knobs there and take those wires out. And, now I've basically just shortened the end of the run to that last pair of knobs.
You know what you should do is, when you remove the knobs and tubes, collect the knobs and sell them on eBay.
Anyways, let's see what's going on
just
here.
Just ignore my suggestion. It's all right.
All right. So OX64 is getting nervous. Let's see, dude. They had a rock balloon. Let's see. The parade is just an exercise of rich and powerful people being above mandates and rules. There, I said it.
The Macy's Day Parade. If they haven't gone bankrupt yet.
Dune goes, crap, I don't have the ability to grant you mod status. I might have the ability to do that. Let's here's the thing. I want people to speak their mind. And I'm not going to shut that down. I maybe that's a little harsh and one-sided. I don't know, though. I've not given a whole lot of thought about it. I just like, okay, whatever. Televised parade on a closed set. I like watching it. So how do I give OX64 mod status? Let's see. Let's see. Add friend, whisper, gift sub. Well, let's do. All right. Let's add him as a. Okay.
Is that on YouTube or on StreamYard or what?
This is on Twitch. I'm not sure. Yeah, how do I make elevate people to? I know I've done this at least once.
Is Dune a moderator?
He might be, but I don't think he's. I think yes, he is a moderator. So I figured out how to do this for Dune. Oh, you know what? I probably got to click on this button here to see the users. Oh, there we go. And now I can see OX64 is there, and let's maybe under the 3 block report. No, I don't want to do that. Maybe if I right click on this. No, that's Windows stuff. Damn it, Twitch! Why don't you make it easy to do things?
Actually, Oxy64, when do you see stuff on TV that's actually not an exercise of the rich and powerful people?
There we go. There we go. So I think everyone's in agreement here. Then we all.
Again, I might be wrong at this again, but the corporations are running things.
Corporations are people, though, right?
Not if I had anything to do with it, but apparently I don't. They'll have to get me on the Supreme Court, and I'd bring a 2x4 and swing at some of the other guys.
OX64 going, that comment started World War III at my mom's house on Thanksgiving Day.
oh, awesome, man. You know, we actually had the Macy's Day Parade on for a little bit. I think we started a little bit later. I don't remember if we got to the end or we just got bored. I needs a bigger monitor. Oh, I do. So thinking of putting a huge TV screen on the wall behind the computer.
So anyways, I ran into a few problems with the master bedroom. Now the first outlet was in a box that was buried in the wall that then had this like plastic like spacer that was like open on the back to basically space the plate and the outlet out of that box. And I don't know if that's the code. And basically I decided I don't know what's in these walls for these outlets, but probably the easy thing to do is just rip out all the old stuff, buy new boxes that and put them in new. And that was a mistake because the new box required widening the hole a little bit and getting it in there. And then I found that the room and that my master bedroom's wall, I don't know what was wrong with the plaster wall, but someone decided that they needed to put a layer of drywall on top of the plaster and the lath. So I had a really thick wall, 3 layers thick, and the way that these blue plastic boxes work is they have like a screw that has this like little tab that comes up behind the wall that it tightens in, but it didn't have enough room on that tab to accommodate as thick of a wall as I have. My walls were too thick to make for a good fit. Couldn't get it in right. It just wouldn't fit and was too much girth there that it couldn't handle. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So I widened the hole more to try to make it. I widened the hole too much, so now I got to clean that up. But I eventually got it to work. And I called up Steve. Well, I called up Dune, and he had a few ideas and a few suggestions and things. And after we talked, I'm like, you know what? Let me call up Steven. So I called up Steven, and he said, well, could you just cut the lath from behind? And I'm like, this is why they pay you the big bucks. Yes, you can. And so I cut the lath from behind with my little saw thing there, and thing flipped right up. But of course, the hole is a. Did Dude say hire an electrician? One of these days I'm going to call Dune. He's going to pick up. He's going to go, no hablo anglais. And that's going to be...
That's right.
That's going to be how that ends.
Although it wouldn't be in Spanish, it would be in Klingon, right?
I don't think so. I don't. So I got that.
Is Klingon one of those spitting languages?
I don't.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. I don't know. Now, the other problem I have is that my light fixture doesn't have a fixture box over it where the wires were connected. Because I guess back in the tube and knob era, just tie your hot and neutral into a light fixture right up in the attic without any boxes, and you're fine. So what I've done is not any more dangerous than what was previously there. And if anything, it's safer because I have now moved insulation away from the wiring, so I've not covered the light fixture back up with insulation on top of my twisted connections. But when I pull that out, it's like, oh shit, I need a box for this. So yeah, I got light in the room. Yeah, I have a situation that is safer than was previously in that room. No, I'm not quite up to code yet. So I do need to, order some more boxes and things like that. Also, I probably should have thought of this earlier. I need to order masks, which I've ordered those. They're on their way here because it's not fun spending a few days in an attic moving insulation around and then realizing, oh, crap. Breathing sucks now. That was a bad idea. Don't do that. No. That was bad. I should not have done that. I just, I was so anxious. I jumped up there. I worked, and then I'm like, oh dear, I've been breathing in crap. So, yeah, no, don't do that. So, but yeah, I have light in my master bedroom that I wired myself, and I'm proud of that. And let me tell you, very nerve-wracking connecting the breaker in the breaker box, because I thought I could turn things off from outside the house. I can turn off the solar panels from outside the house. I don't think
there's no master switch for the house out there.
I don't believe that that's a master switch for the house. And yeah, you could turn off the master breaker in the box, and that turns off everything except for the 220 lines coming into those master breakers. And in my box, the bar that all the neutral wires are tied into runs right next to those two big black wires with 220 running into it. And where are the open screws? Right next to the big wire that no one wants to get anywhere near. And it's a very nerve-wracking moving and connecting a wire that is just mere centimeters away from something that will fuck you up. So I was very, very uncomfortable working in that box and connecting those wires. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's very good to approach power of that magnitude with a certain amount of respect and reverence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, I did it and it worked, but, this is the one reason I'm rethinking the, put in a circuit for each room, because that's more times I have to reach inside that breaker box and connect wires. And I really, I have a lot of free spaces for switches. And I would expect that there should be the same number of screw holes in the box as spaces in the switches. But let me tell you, a lot of those screw holes are looking filled, and it takes me a while to find one that's available. And it's usually buried under a bunch of wires that should be not live. But I know that there are 2 live wires coming in that box, and I mean, I'm like running my tester over everything that before being very careful. I don't even want to touch it with the tester. I'm like, hovering, like, if the tester beeps, it's like, whoa, that tester just let me know that I let my hand get that close to something that's gonna fuck me up. But it is a part of the job, so I got to do it. But it's
Do you have
done.
some heavy rubber gloves that you can use with electricity?
Yeah, those will melt right onto my hand, take my skin off.
No. A rubber glove should be inert to electricity.
Yeah, well, I still don't want to chance it. I guess that's better than putting my. I don't know. I'll think about that.
Although, if you have to manipulate something carefully, a rubber glove can be
difficult.
Make it difficult. And then you'll, short it out against the case.
I'm just going to be careful. I'm just going to be careful and not touch the 220 line. That's just what I got to do.
Yeah.
Let's
Easy
see.
peasy.
OX64 and COVID ain't got shit on that big wire in that breaker box. I stay 6 feet away from that box.
There you go. With a mask.
Yeah. He
Although
doesn't even.
the mask is only needed in the attic, right?
No, let me tell you, I have to flip breakers on or off all the time in this house. That's why I'm fixing it. Before the remote power beaters, you just led the beater to do that. You just yelled. If you do that now, it calls for help. Yeah, probably. Literally. All right, but anyways, I'm fine. I'm fine. I know what I'm doing. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about it. So I've got this shit covered. And I've already put in one circuit without electrocuting myself, and it's almost to code. We'll get there. We will get there. So next, I'm going to add another outlet to the other side of the master bedroom to have a place to plug in the alarm clock and charge my phone. And then I'm gonna run over to the record room and rewire that light fixture and that outlet. And then I need to think about the
record room. You mean recording studio?
No, this is the studio. The record room is the small bedroom that just has all my record shelves with records on them.
Oh, record storage room then.
Yes.
Okay.
So and that room will be easy. I'm just gonna now. Here's the other thing I ran into. My light in the master bedroom that I rewired is still on a pull string because I have a hole cut for the light switch, and I have a hole drilled from the attic down into that wall, and then I took my fish tape and put it down the hole, and I keep bumping into something. So I have either a fire stopper or a hurricane bracing in that wall blocking me from my hole from the attic, which means I got to tear that wall up and figure out what's in there and drill a hole in it. And so it's like, how bad do I want a light switch? Do I want a light switch that bad that I want to tear up another wall?
Yeah, but you have a hole and you have to fill it, right?
I could put a plate over that.
And put a little sign on for future light switch.
Yes. Now, the other option that Steven ran by me is you could always get like that type of thing that's like a conduit that comes down from the ceiling and the box that you mount on the wall, and you have the switch in there rather than put it in the wall. Now, I mean, that's going to not look as nice, but that's an option to consider if I don't want to tear up the wall. But I think I'm just going to have to, I think I've found the area where the blockage is using my stud finder, and there's no risk in my using a stud finder nearby me. It detects no stud on me.
You're not a stud.
I am not a stud. No. Gators is no stud. But so that's where I am with the electrical work. No electrocutions, nothing that was worthy of streaming. You are not missing out on anything.
Sparking.
No sparking.
Good.
Everything's going good. Everything's going to plan. Let's see. Oh, we're going. Sounds like I need to cut the blue wire on the meter first. Oh, they're talking about how the smart meters now call the electric company to let you know if you disconnected them. Meanwhile, tis the season for the Christmas music, and I'd like to thank you for jumpstarting the topic on Twitter. Now, I don't know why, but out of the blue, Brian asked me what my favorite rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is. And I remember some years ago I heard a parody.
And to kind of complete that thought is that there was a Wikipedia page on that song.
Yeah.
And Johnny's response was the Raycon of Singers.
Well, you asked for a favorite version.
I don't remember seeing that in that listing.
But you didn't ask me.
So if you want to, add to the Wikipedia page, yes. And in 1968 or whatever it was, the Ray Conniff Singers did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on their album, blah, blah, blah. See, because that's what some of the other ones were doing. You're just using the same thing.
I could do that, but I mean, we don't need every version. You didn't ask me what my favorite was out of the listings on the Wikipedia article. You just asked me for a favorite, and
well, I know, and maybe that was my mistake because I go Ray Conniff Singers. Oh, that's right. I'm talking to a music nerd.
What's wrong with the Ray Conniff Singers?
In fact, I actually went into that link because I wanted to see what you were talking about. His red schnozzaz, whatever it was.
He had a red schnozzola. It was like a traffic light.
Dancer.
Yes,
but not in that video. It was just the album cover, right? There was no real video. It was just a still of the album cover.
No, but the line is in there. Here he goes.
Red-nosed reindeer, golly, what a funny sight. He had a red schnozzola. It was like a traffic light.
I thought you were talking about Ray Conniff.
No.
Even still, that whole rendition. Let me just put it this way: the Ray Conniff Singers makes my skin crawl.
Oh, but it's Christmas with Conniff.
Oh, beautiful!
It's got that great little swinging drum beat going.
So, and I did like the part about, the most popular song for Christmas was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, except for White Christmas.
Of course.
Because we have to have white people in Christmas.
I don't think that's what that song means.
Bad line, bad.
No.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to get any snow in California here.
I think the whitest Christmas you would ever
see.
I think the whitest Christmas you ever see is Christmas with the Conniff Singers. But anyways.
Oh, we're going in the wrong direction on this show. Please don't stop listening to us or watching us. This is just a stupid comedy that shouldn't happen.
No,
right?
It's all good. It's all fine. I'm not saying anything wrong
I know,
or bad.
But it's edgy, right?
Edgy. We're a little edgy sometimes.
Yeah, edgy, stupid, right?
But now Dune is sending me some links for a flexible installer drill bit with auger tip. Well, that one will still poke out of the wall if it drops off of my drill. So. Oh yeah, I had that happen. I bought a new drill bit. It doesn't quite like the drill, so it somehow ends up loosening itself for my drill. But I'm like, fuck it, it's working good enough to get the holes in. Let's get the holes in. So I go to drill the last hole for the day, which is from the attic down into the wall to the second floor, and I finish drilling the hole, and I lift up the drill, and the drill bit keeps going down, and it belongs to the house now.
Yes.
Because I don't have a hole that goes all the way to the floor. The
medicine cabinet in your bathroom, does it have the slots for the razor blades?
No.
Have you ever been to a place that had that?
No, but you've talked about that.
But you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It just drops them into the wall.
I don't think they make those anymore. But you just kind of imagine, holy crap, if I do some work on this wall, am I going to see a shitload of razor blades?
Yeah, probably. But Dune is sending me all kinds of links. Oh, I could get a digital inspection camera for $75.
Oh, there was a cheap one at Walmart. I think it was one of these as seen on TV. Of course, the snout on it was only so long.
Yeah.
Maybe 18 inches.
I
was tempted to get it, even though that it was...
Well, basically, all I need to do at some point is take some, a piece of, wire with 3 strands in it, run that over from the light fixture to the switch, and basically just kind of, tie that all in and tie all the hots together, and put the traveler on the light fixture, and that will basically add the switch into the already put in light fixtures. So I've already know how I can make it work to get in there and add a switch later. So I might even come back to that after I finish the rest of the rooms. There's part of me that's like, come back, finish this room, and there's another part of me that's like, room's functional, get like everything functional, turn off the knob and tube, then go back and finish up the rest of it. Either way, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what I feel like doing. I could do.
So, do
whatever.
we rate the final job on the number of strings that are left behind? Hey, he converted one string. Okay, he gets 1 point for that.
1 point. Yes, there we go.
Just because there's 6 more to go, 3 more to go.
So anyways, Rudolph.
2 more to go.
Is that your favorite Christmas song, Rudolph?
No, but it is up there, and I do. My favorite version is the Burl Ives.
The Burl Ives. Oh,
although Gene Autry was the original,
right? And I do have the Gene Autry 78 of Rudolph. Actually,
amazing thing is that was 1939.
Yeah. I actually think I have 2 78s of the Gene Autry Rudolph. I've somehow acquired a lot of Gene Autry 78s, and I think I have a few doubles and triples there.
So we actually have the 2 versions. We have the Gene Autry and the Burl Ives, but we like the Burl Ives because we like that, shall we say, cartoon movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I have the Rudolph soundtrack LP in my Christmas record collection, and that is that LP comes out every Christmas for a play. But
and the DVD for the video of it.
Right. But anyways, now my most popular YouTube posting of all time has been my YouTube video of 8 hours of background Christmas music. And it is very commented. It is very well liked. Let me just to review this because it blows me away how popular this has been. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out in the tab and share the window here for you to all follow along. Let's see. I just need to find it. Here it is. So there we go. And if we start playing it a little bit, you get the idea of what type of stuff is. Well, this is a kind of electronic rendition of Joy to the World. But there's a lot of different stylings in here. Kind of takes you back to the department stores in the 70s, maybe the 80s. Doesn't it kind of make you think of shopping for socks for your dad?
Oh, yeah. And do you have the Mannheim Steamroller? That's not what this is it?
No, this is not.
That was big with Radio Shack. So in this comment about Christmas and think of the good old days that you hated because they made you get up early and all this kind of stuff, there was, and then there's the Mannheim Steamroller, which people hated. And one guy says, we got something really worse. There was it was a record set or whatever of these really horrible Christmas record tunes that made the Mannheim Steamroller sound good.
Well, there's Mannheim Steamroller is not bad. I actually they put out 2 of their Christmas albums with 5.1 surround sound on DVD audio.
They did.
So I have those. Those get a lot of play. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And
you could actually put on a little bit. I mean, I don't have a problem with Mannheim Steamroller.
No, it's different. I like a bit of that. But this video here, I posted it in December of 2016. So we're coming up on 4 years of this being here. It has gotten 79,952 views. So we're going to cross that 80,000 mark probably before Christmas. And it has 2.1 thousand thumbs up, 20 dislikes. Out of those 80,000 views, only 20 people disliked it enough to click the down thumb. And it is very well commented on with a lot of really nice comments of people talking about the great memories of listening to things like this back then in the stores, how they wish they still played it. Here's to Whitners, Pomeroys, Hesses, Wanamakers, Gimbals, Grants, Woolworths, Jupiters, the lunch counters, and those marvelous women who worked them. Here's to Nichols and Kmart, and dashing off after the blue light specials, regardless of what was on sale. It was a super bargain. There you go. So lots of great comments, and I'm just so appreciative that people. I shared this with the hope that someone would enjoy it, and there you go. And so I decided it was time to follow that up, because this has been by far the most viewed thing I've posted. And so what could I follow it up with? Well, this year, this past weekend, I posted a video of all of my acoustically recorded Christmas records. And I just want to I'll bring that up a little bit, just to give you an idea of what that video clip has on it. So
What's all this racking about? By Gary, that's right. Merry Christmas, Mary Ann.
The same to you, Pat.
This is my oldest Christmas record in my archive,
There it is.
recorded in 1908.
There, Mary Ann, there's one thing I like about
Over
the
100 years old.
And what's that, Pat?
Christmas tree. The color of it.
Cool.
Here, Tommy,
Yeah,
something for you.
but
And here's
this
your
is
candy,
basically
and here's a lot for you.
an hour and 10 minutes
Over there,
of
Mickey.
Christmas records from 1908 to 1922 that were all recorded by a horn etching grooves into wax. So, we skip through here. And here we got a trio playing rendition of Silent Night from 1917. Skip around a little bit.
And a Paul parrot for the little boy who lives in the garret. This bugle for a nice boy scout.
Here's Santa Claus gives away his toys.
A tin whistle. And a silver bell.
There we have a Silent Night recording. Anyways, not the best sounding recordings, but I thought historically interesting. Let's see.
Yeah, they probably played that on Oak Island.
Yeah. No.
Zinger. There again.
I was
Brian
waiting.
is wrong.
Yes, you are. OX64 rating again. 20 people were mad that the rendition of Snoop Dogg's Christmas wasn't included in the classic store lineup.
Oh my.
OX64 rating in. I know this will never happen, but in some instance you go crazy and lose your mind and decide you don't want that Christmas record. I know a great home for it. I do have some.
My favorite Christmas record is the one that was done using power tools.
Oh, yeah, those are fun.
Yeah.
Actually, Christmas at Clancy's is, I have to say, I've seen copies of that turn up all the time. I'm curious if right now, if I Google Christmas at Clancy's on eBay, it could be had for like, $6 or best offer plus $5.50 shipping. And you might actually get it. It might actually arrive in one piece if you're lucky. Well, they're charging $5.50 for shipping, so I think they'll package it properly. It's the free shipping ones you got to be careful about. And there's another copy for sale for $8 plus $6.30. I don't. Some of them have cost more than others. This is years of keeping my eyes peeled for good deals on Christmas 78s, and as you can hear, they're not all in the greatest of shape. I kind of take them whatever shape they're in. For me, the real joy of playing records of that era is playing them on the equipment of that era, because that sounds right. And not everyone can do that. And I've tried to preserve that type of a tonality in my preservations the best I could. But it's anyways. Thanks for writing in. Oh, I didn't know that. I just figured it would be hard to find. That's the thing. Most 78s aren't worth much. There is such an abundance of them just piled up here, there. I mean, there's a record store in San Francisco that is basically just a room filled with 78s everywhere, which is fun to go through, and most of them are really cheap, which makes it a fun hobby, because just because they're cheap doesn't mean they're not good. It just means that you could, walk out of a store with a handful of who knows what and have yourself a fun evening discovering some new tunes from an era.
So would
way
this
before
be
your time.
something to get in my background?
Fairy Tale Christmas?
Presented by Radio Shack.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Let's see it. Come on. Show me the other one. So here's the back side. Let me zoom in on it. Stupid thing. Delightful. Come on. Come on.
Is that something you listen to while working at Radio Shack?
No. This is on eBay. No, I don't remember this. A delightful story in which Santa Claus is held for ransom by the villains of our favorite fairy tales.
Oh my God! You had to buy
this. So they
this.
force the heroes and heroines, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's awesome, isn't it?
And this is vinyl?
Vinyl record, yeah.
And your turntable's hooked up?
Holy crap. 99. Actually, it's not. The turntable, I think, is in a storage unit. 99 cents, baby. That's your dollar bin special. Want me to send this to you, or do you want to just look? I just searched for Radio Shack Christmas on eBay.
Radio Shack is one word or two?
Separate words, as always. Radio space Shack space Christmas.
Yeah. No, well, the bidding starts at 99 cents. The buy it now is $5, but that's still not a bad deal.
Well, you could just say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go for it anyway, and if someone outbids me, tough crap, right?
All right, I'm going to add it to the watch list. That's got 16 hours and 26 minutes left to go. So, yeah.
And we don't care about a 1964 Radio Shack catalog, Christmas catalog. It might be fun if we're into that.
Oh, and it's one of these like book and record things, so you can read the story again and again, and you can, it's a coloring book. Yeah. So this is probably something that came with a realistic turntable. Or that you could buy for your realistic turntable. Yeah, I guess they used to have, they probably had a bin of these next to their turntables.
So this is this is from 68. We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Radio Shack Special Collector's Edition. Julie Andrews, Vic Damon.
So that's a compilation type of thing. Which
let's see what songs there are.
Now remember, some months ago, I bought 3 LPs of KFC themed Christmas albums, which turned out that they were compilation albums that were offered through through Kentucky Fried Chicken, with great pictures of the Colonel on the cover. So we will have to review those in the upcoming weeks as we talk more about some Christmas tunes. But anyways, that was my
I
contribution
wonder
to my
why
YouTube.
there's only a few songs on each side.
Well, they're 7-inch records.
And it did look small. It's just that
Yeah.
does
Yeah,
it say
that's
that?
That's a 7-inch package there. That's EP style.
Okay, and then there's some other competitors.
So
But it is 33 and a half, so it's not like a 45.
So anyways, let me post the link to my...
Oh, yeah, record size 7 inches. You are correct.
Yeah. So I'm going to post the link to the...
Yes. You want a rockin' Santa, don't you?
There you go. So for those that want to check out the YouTube video of the acoustic recordings after the show, there's the link in the chat room there. So you can go ahead and bookmark that, tell all your friends about it, and have yourself a good old school acoustically recorded Christmas. And I do plan on going further into the later 20s and 30s in my 78 collection for my next posting, which I might do some of if I have some time during the evenings this week, or at some point during the next weekend, although I'll probably be spending much of next weekend in the attic. But yeah, I think that it's worth archiving some of these older Christmas recordings that are not as common and maybe of historical significance. So hopefully we'll see if the popularity is there. I'm curious to see what the popularity is. So far, I've had this video posted for a little over a day now, and it's gotten 20 views, which is not a bad start for a day being on there. Actually, 2 days. So that's about 10 views a day. We'll see.
So this one's a 12-inch record.
Ah, and is that also Radio Shack themed?
Of course. Yeah. Santa and His Friends, 1979. And I actually, late 79, I worked for Radio Shack, so I should have seen this. I just don't remember it.
Well, did you ever go through the records at your Radio Shack?
Hey, I knew the inventory quite well.
Ah, and
Back
you're
in
not
the day.
remembering any of these.
Well, 79, I was working there. I mean, the 64, no, I didn't work for them then.
Ah. I see. All right. Well, let's see. What could we cover next? Well, so what I don't think you ever said what is your favorite rendition of Rudolph, because it's clearly not the Con F singers.
The Burl Lives.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
did
right.
say that.
You did say that. I'm sorry.
Right.
But what is your...
in fact, I asked the boss,
Yes, the boss.
which was her favorite, which is the Burl Lives. But she does like, even though he did Rudolph, she likes the White Christmas by Bing Crosby better.
Ah, so White Christmas by Bing is her favorite Christmas song.
In fact, we put together a playlist to put on her phone, and the first one she is on the list is the Bing Crosby album.
Ah, nice.
Because that's her favorite,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Which is interesting. That's actually, it's funny because White Christmas by Bing Crosby is a record-breaking record.
Oh, absolutely,
and the number of copies it sold, and it was so popular that from all the duplication,
The meter. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
well, it wore out the master, and they actually had to re-record it to make a new master some years later. So the version
That is interesting.
yeah. So the version
You
we
can't
know,
just make a billion copies off of one master, unless it's electronic. Right?
well, I mean, you could do a lot because I mean, if it all, it comes down to the process, because you make one recording and you make so many stampers out of that. You can go back to it a certain number of times, and how many copies you can get off each one is pretty exponential. So if you do it right, you should be able to get a nearly infinite number of copies off of a copy. But at some point, whatever they were using was worn down too much that they determined we need to re-record this. So I think I could probably, I know I have 78s of both versions. I just don't have them queued up ready to go. But yeah, the original version was recorded in 1942, and it sounds like this.
A white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
Which is, same basic arrangement, just but a little different enough that there's something different. And then, of course, this is the one we're used to every year.
Of a white Christmas, just like the one.
Which he probably improved on it with that recording, so it's probably right that that's the one that lives on year after year. But it's a little, I always like pulling out the old one too. But this re-recording was done in 47. A classic.
So
But,
the original recording of him was when again?
1942 was the first
42.
recording, and then in 47 they re-recorded it, and that's been the version that's been
And
in
I think
print ever
the movie
since.
actually came out in 48, so maybe they re-recorded it for the movie as well.
Well, it was originally for Holiday Inn.
That's right. They had a sponsor, just like we had a sponsor with that Xbox ad behind me.
No, the movie Holiday Inn.
I understand that.
Right.
Oh, the movie Holiday Inn.
Right. The movie Holiday Inn was
the song.
The song White Christmas was recorded for the movie Holiday Inn from 1942.
Oh, yeah, but they also had a version of the movie called White. They also have a movie White Christmas.
Right. And that came out in 54.
Oh, so okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I read this a few days ago, and I kind of missed. Again, I was wrong.
No, it's okay. I know this all because I just Googled it now.
Because Dune likes it when I admit that I'm wrong.
Oh, we kid.
Of course.
It's all good. I just have Google at my fingertips. That's all. I didn't know when White Christmas came out. I did know that White Christmas was made for the movie Holiday Inn, which came before the movie White Christmas, but I didn't know White Christmas came that much later.
And the thing is, you wonder, kind of go, okay, so we have this movie,
right,
and we have this song we're finding this very popular. Let's make a movie on the song title.
right.
And we're updating it to be after the war. Because the movie that we watch is not Holiday Inn. We watch, which is its own sponsor. The movie we watch is White Christmas, which ends with the song.
Well,
if I didn't just bust your bubble.
Well, no.
Spoiler alert, right?
In my house, we watched both movies.
You did?
Well, my mom was a fan of both movies. So,
okay.
Yeah. No, I was quite familiar with that. She loved those kinds of movies.
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess White Christmas probably was the one that lived on more and was more Christmas themed. Whereas
Now, do
Holiday,
you see Holiday Inn broadcasted very often?
No. Although that might be because of the blackface scene. I don't know.
What?
Well, yeah, they did the Abraham for President's Day. They did the song about Abraham. They did in blackface. Which
I didn't
was
know that Abraham Lincoln was black.
no.
There you go. I was wrong again.
You know what? I just realized right now we need to bring up here. I need to dig into my folder of jingle sounds here.
You don't think they would just edit out that piece and broadcast it without it?
Well, it was one of the I don't know. But
I mean, after all, they may just make room for a commercial.
That would work. That would absolutely work.
We edited this for a time,
for time constraints.
Yes, right.
But I know.
Fucking liars.
I know. I asked my mom what she wanted for Christmas one year, and she said she wanted a new copy of Holiday Inn. I think she had like a taped off a TV one, and I couldn't find Holiday Inn on DVD. I could only find it on VHS. And so that's what I bought her the VHS of Holiday Inn, and I bought her the DVD of White Christmas. And she goes, "Well, would you mind if I return the White Christmas DVD?" I'm like, "But why?" She's like, "I already have it." I'm like, "Yeah, but you have it on VHS. Those are going away. Keep the DVD. Trust me."
Excuse me, I didn't hit the mute button in time.
That's okay. That was fine. But anyways, to quote Leonard Nimoy,
I was wrong.
There we go. Got the new button for you.
I was wrong.
Oh my God. So I'm in Amazon. I typed in Holiday Inn. The first one that popped up, -DVD.
Well, yeah. Back then I was shopping in stores, so I was at the mercy of whatever they had in stock. So,
This looks like a more recent one.
Yeah.
I should have done it on my iPad. Instead, I did it on my phone. Of course, my battery on it, the phone is down to 96%, and I just...
Oh, you can get a It's a Wonderful Life Holiday Inn too for Blu-ray sets.
It lied to me. Let me see if I can get that in there without all the glare. The Holiday, not the Holiday Inn.
There you go.
Nancy Myers. Who the hell are these people? Cameron Diaz. Oh, and that is Jack Black.
Oh, there you go. There, yes, Holiday Inn starring Jack Black. That
before he was born. Oh! Here it is on Amazon. As soon as it comes up.
Yeah, there it is.
Holiday Inn Bing Crosby to more Holiday Inn DVD. $4.
There you go.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, physical media is going for dirt cheap for a lot of things. Yeah, $4 for the
DVD. Does this make sense? This is like live on tape, which drives me crazy. Dolby Digital 2.0 mono.
Yes, I understand what that means. And
so they're throwing it out to two channels, but it's actually mono.
Right. They're not putting a mono single channel soundtrack on there. They actually took the mono soundtrack and duplicated it onto 2.0 channels. So it is a 2.0 Dolby Digital encoding of the mono soundtrack. So yes, that is technically correct.
Oh, the first review, okay. Did you see when this movie was made in 1942? There was a in-your-face racism everywhere then. The African-American maid in the movie won an Oscar for work in Holiday, and understand that these were the only roles available for minorities. I think she was happy to get a job. in acting.
Let's see. Every made
I was
movie won
11
an
years
Oscar.
old, so this guy's a really old fart.
I do like the movie. I've watched it every year on Christmas Eve since I was 12 years old, and now over 50. I am also African American and have gone through the many racist issues every one color faces daily, but we have to put things in perspective. We are talking about 75 years ago. Interesting take on that. Someone gave it a 1-star review for outdated racism. I grew up with this movie. I get that's nostalgic, and how can you not love Irving Berlin's music? But this movie should be circulating out of our general experience. The blackface section is super degrading, and the stereotyping of the help is hard to watch. I watched some, but had to turn it off. The time
But you
for
know what's
this
really
movie has
cool
passed.
about it? You know what's really cool about it?
What's that?
Irving Berlin is Jewish.
Oh, well, there you go.
See, so they were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that too. To be honest with you, I don't believe I've ever watched it. I'm tempting, for even though there is a 1-star review, I gave it 1 star because that star is for me, because this deserves 0. Right?
Yeah.
People actually bitch about, well, I would give it less than 1 star if you can. No, you take it as the 1 star is for you.
But there are people that actually posted screenshots of the blackface with their 1-star reviews as an example of why you should not buy this. I kind of think history exists, and you could, I think going to the extreme of trying to, bury it and pretend it doesn't exist is not exactly a good way to deal with it either.
I was working for a company in 78, 79. That was digitizing maps of utility facilities.
Okay.
And we were in places like Dallas and Little Rock, and there was a little bit in Houston, but mostly Midwest. This was Southwest Bell. Southwest Bell, I think it was. Telephone equipment. And then, you had the lines that were going down the roads and the highways, et cetera. And you did some buildings if they had enough facilities. So there was one building that we were in that showed all the different junction boxes in the building. And there was one room that appeared to be a bathroom that was labeled as colored.
Oh.
And the guy that happened to digitize that was a black guy, and he was a little ticked off, which is totally understandable. And I wanted to say, you know what, this was on this map, and I would digitize it that way, and maybe even hold up a finger to remind people that this is the way things were, for historical value and to get that satisfaction of.
I mean, that's my take, finger. But I also would. Did he offer? Like, what was his take on it?
It just pissed him off.
And what did he want to do with that piss off?
I don't believe that he reported it or went beyond that.
It just upset him.
He showed it to me. And I, acknowledge, yes, I understand that. That does seem to be.
I guess confronting something of an ugly past that makes you feel bad would result in that reaction. So that's certainly understandable and reasonable. But then I wonder, where did he go with that? It sounds like he did end up digitizing it.
I didn't see if he did. He wrote it up his bathroom and let the editors, because these were reviewed by editors.
Oh, well, this was documenting maps for the technical things that were on there. So there was no reason.
Yeah.
There was no reason to keep that.
He could have changed it, and they overlooked that.
That probably is the best way to go with that.
Because they probably just laid in all the stuff on an old map.
OX64 running in. I guess if people are going to boycott a movie due to the depiction of the times, I guess a lot of movies need to be boycotted, like King Arthur, for instance. Yeah, it gets to a point where it's like, well, what can we? Meanwhile, how are things we're doing today going to be reflected? 20 years from now, 40 years from now. I mean, times are always changing. I think,
even the TV series MASH. Okay, there was a lot of naughty things against women.
Right. I mean, there are people that talk about how the sitcom Friends has some cringy moments nowadays by today's standards.
Sure.
And that's kind of a little mind-blowing when it's like that's a show that's been rerun on TV to death throughout my lifetime.
Oh, absolutely.
And now people are talking about it being out of time, out of step with today's and then you see the examples and it's like,
then
ooh.
you go, okay, so where do you draw the line? So on The Big Bang Theory, you have Rajesh, that's Indian,
Right.
and Howard is making fun of that all the time, and Rajesh says that's racist. So they're kind of making fun of that.
And well, that's the thing is a TV is an intentional portrayal, and whereas in real life, real friends sometimes act like that. Like like when we had Venison on the show, we were always cracking jokes back and forth about white people, black people. Him with his exploding watermelons that he was going to send to all of us, and his I mean, what am I? And that's just real life, and that's okay between people that know what's okay between them. But then when you start getting into depicting things like that in a fictional way that keeps everyone happy, well, you know what? Sometimes you're going to piss off some people, and sometimes you got to deal with that.
Sure.
Sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're wrong.
Who was talking about? So XO64 was talking about. I'm going to watch Hitler parodies on YouTube. Okay, and that's funny, but to me, it's like I did a search on all these different streaming services. Who carries Hogan's Heroes? And I could not find anybody that did. There were a lot of silly things that they did.
Yeah.
And one of the cast members was black. I don't think it was anything anti-black that I can remember.
No, but
that was so far back. But then they were making fun of Germans. They were making fun of German technology, which is hilarious because the German cars are way better than the American crap that we drive. And the Japanese cars are better cars.
You are so
hopelessly
late.
Late?
Oh my God, man! Oh, how stereotypical Caucasian are you people?
There we go.
Oh man.
OX64 already. Twitch is even banning streamers now that are role-playing other races in GTA. It's insane. They are having to move to other streaming platforms. It's overkill in this society. Let's see. It all goes back to that one time that all Venison wanted was pizza and a Dr. Pepper. Well,
who doesn't want a pizza?
No. The thing is, though, is that he ended up buying pizza and a grape soda, and
that's what I thought.
And I never let him forget that. But that's we laughed at it at the time, though. I mean, he posed for the picture because of that.
Well, I don't think there was anything that was
no
degrading, right?
No. Well, what the problem was what he really wanted to drink was
same old favorite, vodka and iced tea, strong.
There we go. I think I worked all my venison.
I can't even imagine that combination, by the way.
Me neither, but he drank that a lot.
Now, were they mixed or is separate?
mixed. But apparently, Seth's mom has a story about at one of the college parties, Stephen King had a jug of chocolate milk in one hand and a bottle of vodka in the other hand, and he just kept swigging back and forth between them. And
so I'm mixed in the stomach.
Right.
So Seth's mother knew which school was Stephen King?
Seth's parents, were in the same college class as Stephen King.
Yeah, because I know Stephen King's from Maine.
Right. Like they were.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
I think I do.
He's got some
yes, I do.
Tweets.
I do follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But yeah, they went to school together. They weren't like best buddies, but they were friends. They were in the same circles. They actually went to I guess whatever the party or celebration was for the publishing of his first book. So they have a first edition of his first book.
But you know what's also cool? This guy I know went to school with John Fogerty.
Oh, that's cool.
And although Fogerty was a year older and they weren't like best buddies, they just knew him.
Right.
And it says, I mean, you could have been in the band. He says, yeah, but I can't sing and I can't play anything. Well, you could rap on a tambourine or something. Yeah. That's And I says, so that accent that John Fogerty does for his songs, you know, this southern, you know, boinin and whatever.
Right.
You know. Hey, it's burning, not boining. And he says, "Oh yeah, that whole accent thing was fake for his, you know, his theme, his thing."
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
And Dune writing in, hey, do you see my tweet about that new tool you need to buy? Not only have I seen your tweet about that ad, I now see that ad every time I scroll through Twitter.
Did you click on it?
So I didn't. I just looked at Dune's tweet. Twitter saw that, and now Twitter is relentlessly bombarding me with videos about this key that it's a wrench, it's a screwdriver, it's a bottle opener, it's a pipe for your weed. And
so it's a multi-tool thing.
Yes, it does everything, include let you smoke weed from it.
Say, Dune, hit him with that tack flashlight. See if that'll come up. Maybe we'll be bombarding him with that.
Yeah, there you go.
Or some other silly ad. Or one of these goofy as seen on TV things, right?
Right.
The a Ninja blender or something. Ninja Foodie blender. Have to get the name right. Fortunately, Twitch and YouTube are not collecting our thoughts here to send us ads, although they might pass them on to Google. So if everybody's starting to get these Ninja Foodie blender ads, they know it's because I said it.
Right. So yeah, meanwhile, it looks like Alduna is suggesting some in-wall drill guides to drill. Basically, it's like a flexible drill bit with a ball. Oh man, I think I need to. Yeah, I do need to buy these.
And share what you're talking about.
Basically, yeah. Well, these are to solve my problem of the wall that the light switch needs to go in. Having a blockage in there. So basically, you get the like really long flexible drill bits, but the problem is if they're too flexible, you might like drill out the wall somewhere you don't want to. So these have a little bumper ball to help guide them better in the wall. So let me get on the right tab.
So a sledgehammer won't do.
Well, sledgehammer will do if I want to rebuild the wall, but I'd rather not. So this right here is what is being suggested. And you can see the little before after picture there where it's basically just being guided up the wall to drill through. Yeah, there we go. That's the thing right there.
So wouldn't just a regular old tennis ball work?
That probably would work too. But this is, let's see.
And how long are these bad boys?
These are that's a good question. Let's see. Let's see. Doesn't say. Oh, this is just a set of balls, is what this is. This doesn't include
so
drill
you have
bits.
to provide your own select.
I'd have to, which he
flexible
said,
bit, right?
right, and he already sent me a link for a flexible bit. So yeah, I need to order a bunch of stuff. I'm building stuff in my shopping cart here. So like I'm looking at maybe putting in these outlet plates that have the USB and the lights on them. Although I don't know about these.
And you don't want to hang out at a tennis court to steal a ball from a guy that lobs it over the fence.
No, I'd rather not.
This can picture this guy running up to the tennis court, grabbing a ball and runs away.
I need it for my drill.
The guy goes, "What the hell?"
But anyways, I looked at these faceplates, and you see these advertised all the time. The problem with these, and I'm still thinking about it, basically they have metal tabs on the back of them that touch up against the screws. Here's the thing. Every video I've watched of people installing outlets that attach the screws to attach the wire to those screws, they always they always tape that up so that the screws are not exposed, even though you have a plate covering it. I just see, and in fact, even the outlets I've taken out of the wall, they tape that up with electrical tape usually to cover that up. So I wouldn't be able to do that with these plates. And speaking of plates, we have Mars on the line.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going okay.
Hey,
So
Mars.
Hello, Brian.
So what's new?
Nothing much. I'm trying to send you a link. Just a second.
Oh, okay, all right. Is this a link for more power tools? I am I'm considering buying a $300 fake tree, and then I never have to buy a tree again.
Open recent chat.
I don't know.
The fake tree that we use here, we bought
No,
when we
don't
were
watch your
in
video
Houston from
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Wait, was it
Yes,
Hobby
still-
Lobby on freaking Three's Company?
Was it?
No, that was the Regal Beagle.
That's the Regal Beagle. It's one of those.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
You didn't watch Three's Company?
Well, I mean, I did back. You mean back then?
Yeah.
How many years has that been off the air?
Too long, man.
Yeah. No, I don't. I just don't remember Hobby Lobby being one of the sponsors.
No, it was the bar they went to was the Regal Beagle.
Oh,
Mars is just remembering that there was something that rhymed in the show, kind of like how Hobby Lobby rhymes.
Hobby Lobby and Regal Beagle.
Regal Beagle.
I gotcha. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
But well, there's another show that would not live
Steve
up to
Bryan
today's
was wrong
standards.
again.
So now,
Which
I
is
guess,
okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Alexis, for writing in, who didn't watch Three's Company? Every week I was waiting to see if Jack was going to get to score with one of the chicks.
There, Gators. That'll fix all your lighting problems right there. I sent it on Dia. I sent a message because I could not get the stupid text message crap on Windows 10 Skype to work right.
Wait, where did you send it?
I put it in the Twitters under your name.
Oh, in the Twitters. Okay.
In the Twitters. Come on. Come on.
When someone says message, I think of Facebook Messenger, but
No,
I'm
I don't use that crap.
but I'm
Why
not
would I use
allowed.
that?
I'm not
Gators,
allowed to
why
be
would
friends
I
with
use
you
that?
on the Facebook.
Why would I use that?
You're not
Why do I
allowed
use
to.
Skype?
No, he won't accept my friend request.
Oh, well.
All right, you
Hey,
sent me.
Mars, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You-
I sent you what?
You sent me a link to searching tap lights in Amazon.
Yes. Guess what? You need tap lights everywhere that will fix your power problem. Right there.
So I just put battery-powered lights everywhere in the house.
Do you see a problem with this?
I not for.
Think of your electric bill. You don't have to turn on a real light. Think of your electric bill.
Yeah. This is a good short-term solution.
I think it's an excellent long-term solution. Just do it. Put like 10 in a row. It's fine.
I have been thinking about. I mean, now that I'm wiring
They have
my
some
house
with little sensors on it. You walk in and they'll turn on automatically.
I've thought they make some of those like LED light fixtures that just fit into holes in the ceiling that snap right in easily.
Yeah,
and I've given thought to running.
Oh, track lighting.
Yeah,
I love track lighting, dude. Track lighting's awesome.
I've considered that. I mean, that's the thing is that really
I want to put that in my living room.
If I'm putting wires in, I could put wires in for whatever I want to buy, and I could put whatever I want in this house. And here's the thing. Right now, the light fixture in my living room is a ceiling fan with 3 lights in it.
And I have that, except I have 4. I have 4 lights.
Yeah.
Brian, I see 4 lights. Not really, but...
OX64 agrees. Battery-powered tap lights. This is great.
Yeah, everywhere.
No
Perfect.
big black wires to touch and die from.
Or you can get an IoT light bulb, and you can say, hey, computer, turn off the light.
There you go. And
computer, turn on the light.
And Dune writes in, Mars has several. He has never had to replace the batteries ever.
You know what? That might be true. That might be true. I do have one in the closet, actually.
You do have to change them once in a while because you don't want the damn batteries to leak.
Well, he doesn't know though. He just keeps tapping it every time he walks past it.
Okay, that's why you get the sensor ones that automatically turn on and off when you walk by them. Actually,
as far as you know, they still turn on and off.
You know what? I don't care on that. But Gators, the great thing is, my electrical outlets work.
Yeah, mine do too.
Yeah. How are they working? How's that light switch? Actually, the light switch on the top of the stairs is fine, right?
I've not done anything with the light switches in the stairwell yet. I do need to figure that out. Here's what I figured out. I have the tester, the little tester that can detect live wire near it.
Did you just put your tongue on it like a 9-volt battery?
And I've determined that the wire between the 2 switches runs. All right, so I got the second floor switch has a live wire that runs from the switch down to the floor. Then if I go downstairs, it runs from the ceiling across the ceiling that's over the bottom of the stairs. And then down that wall to the other switch. So yeah, between the 2 switches, there's a run of wire that goes down a wall, through the floor ceiling, down another wall.
Gators, this is the perfect reason to get some FRS radios. Give one to Kristen, take one to yourself, and then you guys can talk on the radio from each floor and say, is the light on? Yes. No. Yes. Come on, you want some little FRS radios. Come on, everybody needs them.
What I need to do is open up those light plates.
How many Echo Dots do you have?
1, but we don't plug it in.
Why not?
Just get a second one, and you can use that as an intercom.
I don't need an intercom. I need to get this 3-way switch onto modern wiring. And
then you can say, Alexa, turn on the light.
My hope is that I could just pull a new wire off of the old wire that's going down the wall through the floor ceiling. I don't think so. It's probably tied to some knobs at some point in there too, but I don't know for sure that it is.
Are those the little blue things that you took 2 wires together and you twist them together? Is that what a knob is?
No, a knob is a piece of porcelain.
I have a couple of those. That's how I put 2 wires together.
A knob is a piece of porcelain that's nailed to a beam that
in the wall,
in the wall, or
in
the attic. Because that's insulated.
It's an insulator, yeah.
My potty's insulated?
Yes, it is.
Nice. So if there's ever an electrical storm, sit on the potty.
Just sit on the potty.
And you'll be fine.
Lift your feet up off the ground, and you'll be insulated.
Depends on how high the potty is. Sometimes it is. My sister has super high ones, and I'm like, dude, there's a problem here. I feel like a little kid sitting on this thing. What the heck? I need some a step stool or something.
Alexis, you're already in. No computer. I was drove crazy by Mom's Google thing. Every 5 minutes, a damn Google commercial comes on and starts her stupid Google thing to start playing music.
So I have the Amazon Echo devices,
Yeah.
In fact, I have 2 in this room. But you can change the name from the alert word from Alexa to computer. So I can ask the computer a question.
I'm going to tell you, my Big Echo, my first generation
And-
one that Dune gave me, Brian, that thing is still freaking awesome. I love that thing. Guess where
I
it is
do.
now? It's in the bathroom. I use it when I take in a shower, and man, my neighbors hate me because I could hear them pooping upstairs. So think when they're here, listen to my 80s rock going. Come on. It's awesome. And the bathroom makes it sound 10 times better. It is great in there.
I think they got the good deal
because
there.
what better sound studio do you have than the shitter, right?
Now, what's the deal with cats in the bathroom?
They love that
there,
place.
sir. They like the smell and the coolness of the bathroom.
And they like the water dripping out of a faucet.
Well, Shaniko has started a new thing that, she would hang out outside the bathroom door whenever one of us was in the bathroom.
Yeah, because they want to know what you're doing. Why are you making those smells? What's going on?
And Kristen started letting her in. And so now she gets really pissy that I won't let her in. Because now this has been an established habit that she absolutely loves because she gets pets and attention while she's in there. And
what? Who's petting their cat while they're using the potty?
Kristen is.
Oh, you're not supposed to pet the kitty while you're pottying.
I don't know what goes on in there entirely, but I do know that Shantiko likes to follow her in there, and now Shantiko wants to do the same thing with me, and I'm not as open about my potty time with the cats.
Would you sit there and say, Shantiko, you come in here, you might get squirted.
Actually, the cat just wants an even deal here.
Yeah.
I mean,
he wants the cat take a shit in the cat box.
Here's the thing.
So he wants the same treatment.
I'm sitting on the potty doing my thing, and the cat's meowing at the door. Now I'm thinking to myself, next time that cat goes to use a litter box, I'm gonna go sit in front of the litter box and start meowing back at the cat while it's trying to shit in the box.
Maybe you should bark at it.
See if the cat likes that.
Okay. By the way, speaking of animals, my niece and my sister just got a brand new puppy today. It is you'll like this. It's a bulldog Shih Tzu mix.
It's a bullshit.
Yeah, it is a bullshit. It is.
Yes.
No, they actually got one. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's pretty adorable.
They actually got a bullshit.
They did. Yep. It's a puppy. It's literally like, I think 5 months old, something like that.
Now, Dune posted me a link to a wireless light switch. Yeah. Now, mind you, this is what the flippers did, because the light fixtures on the first floor in the dining room, living room, and kitchen are all brand new light fixtures, ceiling fans that are controlled by remote controls that are held in the cradles that were attached to the wall. And at first I thought, oh, they did that because that's what they came with. Isn't that interesting? And it's like, no, that was how they were able to tie new light fixtures into the knob and tube wiring without having to run light switches off of it.
Yep, that's what my brother-in-law did for the bedrooms in their house. They have the problem is when my niece turns on her ceiling fan and the light, it turns on the ceiling fan in my room too. And it's horrible. And I'm like, no. So we're always fighting with it. I'm turning it off and she's turning it on and I'm turning it off. In the middle of the night, it turns on. I'm like, you know what? Fine. You know what? Full blast. That's what you're going to get right there. Too bad.
I don't know what they did wrong in there, because I got 3 of them right next to each other, and each remote control only controls one, and they're all right next to one another.
With the same frequencies. That's the problem.
You got to get separate frequencies.
I know you do. It's like remote control cars. You can't steer 2 different cars when you're racing unless you have 2 different frequencies.
Right. But
you can't do the Tyco racing cars if you're sitting there with the same frequency. I'm sorry.
But I don't know that a wireless control relies on battery then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
I don't think that would be to code for a stairwell light, which is kind of important because that's, middle of the night, walking down a stairway. I mean that would be considered a safety issue, that the possibility that a light won't turn on in the middle of the night. I don't know.
Well, I do know they have wireless. I do know they have wireless light switches because I've seen those. They have wireless doorbells, Wireless doorbells suck because my friend used to have one, and every time someone else would open the garage door, their doorbell would go off.
Well, I know since 2011, code is that you have to have a neutral in a light switch box when you're running wire for light switches now.
Oh, yeah.
Because
everything has ground here.
New technology, like smart switches or whatever, they need a neutral. So they just put that in the code. So you have to put that in there in case someone else wants to use it someday.
I'm gonna get some smart switches. I just haven't done it yet. I need to buy some.
But anyways, I'm actually wondering. I think the wire that is running to the 3-way switch for the hallway light is newer than the knob and tube, but still pretty darn old. So I'm half tempted to just tie in the original.
He's talking
wiring.
about 3-ways and knobs and tubes. Okay.
Well, I don't know. It might be a California 3-way. Hi-yo!
How? I don't. That says many different. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There you go. Yeah,
there you go.
There are different ways to wire a 3-way that are not to code anymore. So, and some of them are quite dangerous. But I don't think I have one of those.
Oh,
I think it's like the Carter 3-way is the one that you might have a hot side in the fixture even when it's off. But that was written out of code in the 20s. So this house was built in the 30s. So I don't think I have that. So
nice.
Yeah.
So you have one 1930, huh?
Yeah, the house was built in the 30s, as I understand.
My niece just bought a historical one. It's built in 1840 or something.
Oh.
So they have signatures on the walls and stuff. They can't mess with some of the inside stuff, but it's theirs is modern. Everything has ground in it, though. Everything has ground and everything's wired fine.
Is that in California?
Yeah, it's in California.
Cool.
Yep. So it's kind of neat, but their place is actually modern.
Approximate location? I'm curious.
Within 40 miles of myself.
Is it along one of the waterways?
It has a water tower thing in their backyard.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know what they do with the water tower, but they have running water.
Is it their water tower or it was just there?
Now it is, yeah. It came with the property. Oh, it came with chickens. They have 3 chickens.
Oh, yeah. I knew a couple that bought a house in Alamo. You know where that is? That's north of Danville.
I hear there's a
along the
basement
680.
in there somewhere.
I'm sorry, what?
I hear there's basement in the Alamo.
A basement?
He's making a reference to Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh.
There's no basement in the Alamo.
The fortune teller told Pee Wee Herman that his bicycle was at the Alamo in the basement. And so he went to the Alamo on the tour to try to find his bike. And at the end, he goes, "Are we going to get to see the basement?" And
okay.
But
anyway, so these people
watch that movie.
These people bought a house in the town of Alamo. And it came with a chicken coop and chickens, and one of the chickens would lay green eggs.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. My sister in Virginia has I think it's 8 or 9 chickens, and they all lay different colored. There's green and blue and pink and yellow, and there's speckled.
And red.
She has freaking Easter eggs for breakfast every morning. It's great.
Nice.
I think that's cool.
Actually, it's a self-sustaining farm area, and all her neighbors do the same thing with different stuff. So she puts a basket of eggs outside, and everybody does their walks in the morning, and they all grab different things. There's peppers and there's
so
there's
this is
stuff
like a sharing community.
Yeah.
This is
sharing
real
community.
utopia.
Yeah, and so everybody has their own gardens and what they're growing every day. And their neighbors grow peppers, different types every year, and the other ones grow fruits and vegetables. There's tons of stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Well, we have one Mandarin orange tree, and this is the time where it all comes out. And we've been working on them, and so far we've collected 100 tiny little oranges. They're like the cuties you can buy in the store.
Yeah.
Only better. We figure there'll be 200 by the time we're done, and we're hoarding them for ourselves.
Are you make orange juice out of them? Mandarin orange juice?
No, we just eat them.
Are you gonna put them on your salads?
Eat them straight.
You don't put them on your. You don't slice them. Put on your salad. Mandarin salad is freaking delicious.
Well, actually, in fact, like Chili's, one of the things I like is they have this Caribbean salad, which includes mandarin oranges. So yeah, I like that. I do like that.
Did it have mandarin oranges in the Caribbean?
I believe so. Well,
okay.
Why not?
That works. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. Gators, you need an orange tree in your backyard. It will work great.
I just had a tree in my backyard, but I had it taken down when it was leaning against the house. So
you should get a fruit tree. I mean, you can't do oranges actually in your area. You could probably do apples.
Maybe.
Apples.
Yeah, apples, pears.
They got Boston out. You can have a bean. Oh, and they can't. They don't beans don't grow on trees. You can't do that.
Nectarines, which would be really special. People really like that.
Which ones?
Nectarine.
He can't grow citrus in freaking Boston.
What's
you can't do anything citrus. Can you do many fruits in Boston?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said nectarines. No. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Gators is legal there. You can at least have 6 plants there, right?
I think so.
There you go. It'd save you some money.
I just buy stuff, and I've been trying different
Gators,
stuff.
think how much money you would save if you had your own plants.
Well, then I got to know how to maintain that and deal with all that. And I've still not found what plants react well with me, because I got stuff that makes me sleepy, and I got stuff that makes me freak out. And if I mix it, I kind of get the right combination of freaked out, sleepy. That's not so bad. But that's not ultimately my goal in doing something for recreation. So I'm still.
Oh, just don't watch Yellow Submarine on the stuff that freaks you out. You'll be fine.
Well, that's the thing, is that when I'm freaking out, I think I need to do something that utilizes that mindset properly, because it's like
Legos.
Legos. That could be. I don't know. I'm still experimenting. I bought a bunch of different gummies, and these gummies make me sleepy.
They're probably CBD.
So I'm not a fan of them, because I mean, I feel okay.
You can buy those on Amazon. You know that, right?
What?
CBD gummies.
Oh, well, that's not quite what I bought. I bought stuff that you can't buy on Amazon.
Yet.
We're getting there, though.
Yeah. Well, if you lived in California, you could have a delivery service. They have tons of delivery services around here.
Oh, nice.
They just deliver it to your door. I call it Pop Mates, but I don't think that's what it is.
Well, anyways.
Okay, so in the last election, how many additional states added the right to it?
Was it like 12 that did like?
I never saw an article on it.
Yeah, I think it's like 12.
So the total number is
Something like
what? Probably something like 40, 35, 40?
They should honestly, I don't do that, but they should just make it legal.
All right,
just do a federal legalization.
Well, because it still is illegal federally.
Yeah, they should just make it federally legal, honestly, especially
and there's a disclaimer on the
they should make
House purchase agreements that, oh yes, you understand that that's federally illegal, so there might be situations where you can't do this.
Yeah, what they should do is make it federally legal as medical, and then each state should say if it's recreational or not. Do it that way.
Well, really, it should just be legalized across the board at this point.
Sure.
But at this point,
Canada's that way, right? Isn't Toronto freaking legal federal? It's federal legal in Canada, right?
At this point, there's only 6 states that's fully illegal and that's South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, Kansas. Sorry, Dune. Wyoming and Idaho. Now, there's a bunch of states where it's just been decriminalized, so they don't have the medical stuff, they don't have the recreational stuff. It's just that
they're just not going to send you to jail.
They're not. You still have to.
But
get it.
Let me see. Is Dune next to really close to Iowa or Nebraska?
Well, I mean, Wichita is. I guess you could drive to Colorado.
Colorado.
Colorado would be the closest fully legal state.
Can he just bring it back with his moonshine, or?
I don't know. I mean, well, the big problem
is moonshine legal in Colorado, though? See, you need to have a state that both are legal.
Well, I don't know if moonshine's legal in Kentucky, but it was very much everywhere because people just make their own. They don't care.
But,
they make it in their bathtubs and blow up their houses.
But meanwhile, it just passed for New Jersey to be fully legal. So,
apparently, in California, you need to get a permit to set up a still.
Oh, for moonshine?
Well, of
Probably.
course. Or just
course.
any distilled liquors.
Anything that's explosive, you need a freaking a permit for.
Right.
Because moonshine is very blowy uppy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I had
can
neighbors. I had neighbors in Kentucky that blew up their house. So.
Well, see, that's the trick is you don't put it in your house.
Well, 3 in the morning.
Put it in
3 in
a
the morning.
shed out back.
So Brian, 3 in the morning, we hear this boom, and all of a sudden we hear this noise. All of us kids ran out to the street, looked over, and we see this person's house. It's like a Bunsen burner with the flames going straight up. They're still explode. Yeah, their moonshine still exploded on their top on their top floor. The fire trucks and stuff came by, and they said, "There's nothing we can do with that. There's too much fuel." They just sat there and said, "We're letting it burn because."
Did you watch the Formula One race this weekend?
No,
ESPN replays it during the day, so you don't have to get up in the middle of the night.
No,
but in the first lap, this one guy goes off the track. The car goes through the barrier.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, and leaves the back half on one side of the barrier, and the driver and the other half is in the outside of the track, right?
Okay.
And the part that has the driver goes way up in flames that are just horrendous. But the guy climbs out of the car, hops over to the barrier to where the medical people are already there because they saw it happen, and they just scoot right out there. And the guy ends up in the hospital because his hands are burned. But
yeah,
I mean, it's lucky that he's alive.
Car blew up. Hey, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. He'll drive next week. It's fine. He'll be good.
Well, I kind of hope that he does. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
But it
Gators,
reminds people
don't do that
when
at
you're
home,
going 200 miles an hour, it could be dangerous.
Yeah. It's fine. Gators does it all the time.
Yeah.
And
Dune does it with him.
He had that. Hey, if he still had his Crown Vic, he could do it.
Who, Dune? Dune has a
Yeah.
Crown Vic? Oh, yeah.
He used to.
Did he have the police colors on it still?
Huh?
Did he have the police colors on it still? The black and white?
I don't know. You know what? It should be bright orange. That's what color it should be.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking at drill bits because it's past 10 o'clock.
Wait. Are you gonna buy a drill bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a long drill bit so I don't have to cut.
Is it gonna fit your drill?
I don't know. I'll find out. But this one's so long it probably won't get lost in the wall.
Are you gonna buy it with a little Augie thing on the back of it, or are you just gonna buy a drill?
Well, he's going to buy a drill and the tennis ball to guide it.
Gators. Are you buying a stucco drill bit or a regular drill bit?
Well, what I'm looking at right now, Dune sent me a link for eBay, but I was hoping to buy something on Amazon. So I searched Amazon and I see, Eagle Tool, Flex Shank Installer Drill Bit, Screw Point, 3/4 inch by 72 inch, made in the USA. But when I'm looking at pictures of it, the end of it's like a triangular thing. So
that's right. That's what you want for sheetrock and stucco and stucco and sheetrock, right?
No,
that's what you want, the triangle.
No, no, the triangle end's the end that goes in the drill. The other end is drill bit shaped.
Why is it? But no, you don't need that. You need the little roundy thing, the little thing that sticks on top of it.
No, this is a drill in wood. The wood that's inside the wall.
Wood.
It's not.
Wood,
wait.
like
Is it wood?
Island.
Is it wood? It's not stucco or not stucco, but
something is
sheetrock?
blocked. Something is blocked.
He's left in plaster.
Something inside the wall is blocking me from fishing a line to where I want to put the switch, and it's probably a fire stop or hurricane bracing. So that would be wood.
Oh,
Wood.
And I need.
yes, drill a hole in your hurricane bracing. That's good for you.
Well, no, it's just a hole to run a wire.
Well, okay.
It's the end you're talking about is a hexagon. Dune was just saying that.
I don't know.
You said triangle.
Well,
Gators,
it's
really
triangle
need to
with
do-
rounded corners, so that would be more like a hexagon.
Gators, can you bring your drill over to Home Depot and say, I need to drill a freaking hole in a wall. Which bit do I need? That honestly, I've done that in freaking stores. I go, I need this. Do you have this?
I think I need
And
to
they're
bring. I think I need to bring the bit to Lowe's and go. What type of drill do I need for this bit? Because the one Brian told me to buy 10 years ago, he ain't holding on to it.
Wait, did you ever use it 10 years ago?
I've used the drill a lot.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of good use out of that drill. It's on its second battery.
Oh, it's battery powered.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that's
so
better.
the
Mine
original
has a big old cable on it.
So the original rechargeable battery crapped out, right?
Yeah. It will.
Like a little Ryobi or something?
Yes, it is exactly a Ryobi. And I know that because
Ryobis are cool.
So there are ways to make
Did you get the
those
bright yellow
rechargeable
battery?
batteries alive again, and YouTube is all over that.
Well, I went to Lowe's and I asked them where I can get a battery for my Ryobi drill, and they told me go to Home Depot. And,
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll take you to Home Depot, sure.
Exactly. That is a Home Depot
Why did you go
product.
to Lowe's? Why'd you go to Home Depot?
So
That was closest to us.
Well, here's the thing. Basically, it was one of those things that as the years went on, I thought that the drill was, just kind of a weaker drill, and that, because there are some jobs that it was just not doing. And my dad's like, "Oh, you gotta have a plug-in drill to do those. I'll lend you mine."
That's what it's called, the plug-in drill.
And well, you know what? I'm paraphrasing. Anyways, so at some point I realized it's just not holding a charge that long. So I thought, well, I'll just buy a new battery for it. And I bought a new battery for
the
it.
extended super brick one,
and
like the other one.
I put the new battery in, and oh my God, did the drill all of a sudden have power again? And I was like, oh, all these years that I've been just drilling little holes in the wall.
Same bars. He doesn't know how to use the charger.
I know how to use the charger.
Just kidding.
No, Brian, the problem is with Ryobis, they come with different size batteries. The ones that come with it, their charge is low, and they will only push out so many amps to that drill, which makes it slower.
Oh, I
you have to
understand
buy
that.
the bigger. You have to buy the bigger batteries, which gives out more amps, which will actually push it faster, which will make it better.
And they do, and the batteries do crap out. So
they do crap out
again.
when you first buy them.
On YouTube, there are things how to you search how to recharge a dead Ryobi battery or something like that, and they'll tell you how to do it. You got to go into it and basically spark the batteries back to life.
Yeah,
and hope they don't go on fire.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just sitting there, Brian. That's too hard. I go to the store, I buy a new one, I pop it on the drill, and I use it. That's my DIY.
Speaking of going,
it's only money.
Speaking of going to stores and asking someone, hey, this is what I need it for. Tell me what I need. That doesn't only work for drill bits, but Dune has a suggestion that I need to go back to the pot store and go take a clip of Dandy and show them, this is what I watch. Hook me up.
There you go.
Are you watching Space Dandy?
No, Dandy does it on Twitch. I like.
Okay.
I need to explain this joke to you two. So especially Brian. So let me just find a nice clip of Dandy.
Ooh, Twitch finds on Monday.
Yes, here we go.
Maybe they're live and we can raid them.
Dandy only
do
goes.
You have your Twitch finds copyrighted? Is he allowed to do this?
Dandy goes live on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So here I will bring up some. So Dandy is like reborn every stream, and we're like testing the new clones. So here I will.
Wow.
Yeah, it is an interesting.
Is it kind of like Rei Ayanami from Evangelion?
It's
a new clone every time.
A new clone, and the ones that are passed go off the world, and the ones that fail are carefully decommissioned. So this is what I like to watch on the influence of stuff. And it's the visual effects.
Bring it on.
Yeah. So the stream usually starts with a countdown timer to when the next dandy is going to be delivered. And so here we go. We start with a newly percolating dandy in her beaker here. This is dandy number 415 that is being born. Testers check in, and once it reaches 45, she's born. And so let's see. Here she is after being. Oh, that's Fixer, the robot. But when she's born, she's got, she crawls under a towel, and notice she's got this whole green screen wall thing behind her that is absolutely and on the side of the wall is a mirror, so it reflects the green screen and everything, and so it acts as an extension to the green screen.
Gators, why don't you put mirrors next to your couch?
I guess I could do that. And so this takes place like 1,000 years in the future, and people can run commands that make things appear on the testing chamber. Like there's a floating loaf of bread here. There's a virtual treadmill that she's running on right now. All these fish are showing up, and notice that she's got chroma keyed on her leotard that she's wearing. That's different from the green screen behind her. So, I mean, this is just trippy to watch. And I mean, look at the effects and the equipment to do all this.
A school of clownfish.
And a lot of times she'll do like delayed loopings of the video behind her. And she'll dance around to all these different effects. And I mean, look at this trippy effect that's going on behind her, where it's kind of trailing what she's doing. And now she's got all these
issues. We'll just forget about.
I mean, just look at that.
Is that a problem?
Wow.
And it's
Little Bigfoot.
So Dune's suggestion is right on the money. I just need to bring a clip of this in with me to the pot store and show it to the bud the bud tender and go, what would you recommend? What would go with this? What would pair nicely with Dandy?
First they might confiscate what you're showing them the video with. Bring like a $30 Kindle with you playing this in the background and say, here, watch this for about 10 minutes and talk to me.
Watch this. What do you recommend? I want something for watching this.
Brucey, baby. I didn't really get to properly introduce myself. Oh. Wow, Bruce. Bruce is out of here.
So that's Dandy.
Oh.
What do you think, Brian?
Do it.
Well, as long as you don't bring the Russian pole dancer lady with you instead, that's probably something you don't want to bring to the pot store. Because they will confiscate your Kindle. They'll confiscate your Kindle and not bring it back.
OX64 ready again. I could see a cool porn being made with this chroma.
Oh. Oh.
Anyways, on that note, we've reached the end of another fun-filled show here. So it's time once again to say goodbye to
insert title here.
But we will be back next week.
People for a raid, right?
But I hope so. And we do try to be educational here. I know I have learned a whole lot here. And I think we have just enough for a raid. So we will find someone to raid. But Brian, what have you learned this week?
I learned that the Ray Connell Singer is the best Christmas group out there.
Oh, Percy Faith, then the Conniff Singers.
Oh,
And-
wait a minute,
and-
wait a minute. I learned something else.
Now, where does Mitch Miller and the gang fit into this?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
And Mars, what have you learned this week?
That you're still playing with your knobs and tubes and trying to figure out where to drill the hole at.
And I have learned
Ooh.
that if you need a hole to stick something in, you just need a bigger drill.
Just don't use a cantaloupe. I hear they hurt if you drop them.
Now let's see who is live. Ukulele Russ is live. That's music. Poppy Tunes is live again. Lord Grimm is live. Let me bring those up and see what they're doing, and see who is prime for a raid. So we will just kind of check out. Of course, they're all going to play ads.
Of course, that's what they do.
That's what they do.
Do you not have your ad blocker on?
I do, but Twitch has been getting wise to that.
Make a pie hole.
Make it. Yeah, I need to stick it in the pie hole. Is what I need to do.
No, it's a Raspberry Pi project. You put it on your network and you basically use it as a an ad blocker for the whole house.
Yeah,
for your network.
Yeah, I'll do. I might do that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How do you think I used to get by with all my ads? I didn't look at anything.
It's good to see everybody back. Thanks for coming.
All right, so yeah, we got Ukulele Russ. We got Poppy. Now we rated Poppy Tunes recently. Oh, man, my browser does not like having that many things opened at once. Oh, is this still working?
Broke it. I know you
Well,
broke
that's
it.
fine. We just have to take one.
Oh, that's what. If I open up too many screens, then it breaks the green screen effect.
You need more RAM.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need them all open. That's all. Just open up a couple.
Yeah.
Make a selection.
All right. Yeah. Oh, I want to make sure like they're actually live and not getting ready to sign off.
Well, by the time we're done looking for something, everybody would have signed off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But my Chrome has stopped responding to my things because it's so busy crashing, even though I've closed everything I can.
Oh, poor Gators. That is really frustrating.
Well,
I
after
know.
you get the raid done, then it disappears, so you don't need it anyway.
But I can't do the raid without having a window to type it into, and I can't get a window to come up to type it into because it's stopping. Chrome is being a dipshit right now.
Yeah. Sorry, Gators. You can use Edge, but it's Chrome too, so.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Edge is now Chrome?
Edge is
You've
Chrome.
updated it, yes.
Edge is Chromium based.
Yeah, it's Chromium based.
Oh.
I don't even, well, I do have Chrome installed. I just use Edge once in a while, but I mostly use Firefox.
Can you imagine
still.
Internet Explorer suddenly being Netscape?
I should see if I can get Netscape Navigator 3.04 Gold to work.
All right. Well, anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to raid Ukulele Russ. I forget.
Yeah.
He's someone that Dune recommended. Let's see. 5-hit Dune running, and I could do it. Welcome to the chat room. All right. Well, we're just going to go ahead and do that. And thank you everyone for listening, and good night. And
night.
We'll all say hi to Russ in a little bit here after it plays another ad and crashes my browser again.
Enjoy the uke, guys.
Yeah.
All right. I think we did it. Yay! We successfully raided.
Every step you take on your hamster wheel.
All right, good show.
Yeah.
All right. I'll catch you next week.
Yep.
Good night.
Right.